Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
Open like a pastor, flat earth embarrassment, and future lieutenant gubernatorial candidate Dean Odle. Yes, Dean Odle has decided he is going to be the guy. He is going to be the guy when it comes to running for lieutenant governor. And he says, yeah, that's me. Trust me. I'm the guy. I'm going to do that stuff. And I'm just like, no, please stop. Don't do that stuff. It's absolutely embarrassing. We don't want any part of this from you. But there he is. He ran for governor in the past and embarrassed himself. Unfortunately, he never took me up on my offer for him, where I offered him $100,000 to go out and prove that the earth was flat. Okay? He decided not to do that. He decided not to do what I wanted him to do. So too bad. He's a loser. He always will be.
Number 6.
All right. High-level ceasefire negotiations between Israel and Hamas are underway. They are being facilitated by who? Who's facilitating that? Oh, Donald Trump and his administration. They're facilitating. That's nice. The U.S. and Arab mediators are working on this. They're gaining momentum. As President Biden expressed optimism for an agreement before President-elect Trump's inauguration. And by the way, in that situation, they both get to claim victory. That's the beauty of the whole thing. And I got to tell you, it is kind of embarrassing for everyone involved because they've had all this time to work on this ceasefire stuff, and they never, ever, ever did. And they never were able to get anywhere. But it looks like Hamas is worried about Donald Trump being in there and what exactly that means when he comes back in.
Number 5.
President Joe Biden has promised a one-time payment for California residents impacted by the wildfires in California in the amount of $770. Yes, some on the right are saying this is not enough given the money that's going to Ukraine. But don't worry, Kamala Harris is there to make everyone feel better. Here's what she said. It's critically important that to the extent you can find anything that gives you the ability to be patient in this extremely dangerous and unprecedented crisis, that you do. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything, but it's Kamala Harris, and it never means anything because she is a lunatic who can't string 2 sentences together. But that is where we are as a whole here in our society. We have a president who is a joke and a vice president who's an even bigger joke. Tommy Tuberville says, hey, whoa, hold off on this funds from the federal government until they fix themselves there in California. Well, that's not going to happen. No way.
Number 4.
The battle over United States Space Command headquarters continues as U.S. Senators Katie Britt, Republican out of Montgomery, and Tommy Tuberville, a Republican out of Auburn, alongside with U.S. Representative Dale Strong, a Republican out of Monrovia, who represents North Alabama, and where the Space Command headquarters should be, have all introduced a resolution urging President Trump to establish the Huntsville's Redstone Arsenal as the permanent headquarters, reversing President Joe Biden's political selection of Colorado Springs. It's amazing the media finds that not to be interesting at all in any way, shape, or form. But there is an attempt to make this right, and I think that's going to happen relatively soon. Redstone was, of course, named the top choice. Alabama officials continue to argue that Biden's decision was politically motivated because it absolutely was, and it's time to make that right.
Number 3.
Secretary of Defense nominee Pete Hegseth is scheduled for a confirmation hearing here in a bit, maybe ongoing at this point. But know this, Democrats are going to say, well, he's just not qualified. He can't possibly do it. It's the way. I mean, there's no way this can happen. This is the way. Then he's, of course, going to be confirmed. And they're going to say the FBI didn't even do the right kind of Brett Kavanaugh. Oh, my God, it's the worst thing in the world. They're going to complain about that. And they're going to then watch as he is confirmed. The United States Senator Tommy Tuberville endorsed all of President Donald Trump's nominees the other day, applauding their alignment with the America First agenda on border security, economic growth, and national defense, which is exactly what we need. He continues, that being Tuberville, highlighting figures like Hegseth, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and Kash Patel, and talking about how they are qualified for their positions. I don't like the RFK pick personally, but the rest of these I'm on board with.
Number 2.
Alabama Governor Kay Ivey has ordered state flags to return to full staff on January 20th for Inauguration Day, before resuming half staff on the next day in order to honor President Jimmy Carter's passing. The soon-to-be trend, which is what this is going to be, it was started by Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who ordered all state flags to be raised to full staff on Inauguration Day, despite the ongoing 30-day mourning period. The media has found a new way to be upset about something silly, and Donald Trump has gotten right in their ire because President-elect Donald Trump has also raised his flag right now at Mar-a-Lago. So at Mar-a-Lago, the estate, their flag is at full height. It is not supposed to be. I understand the inauguration thing. I do not understand this. The media all of a sudden loves the flag, by the way. They're very interested in keeping the flag honored, right? Okay.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
Oh boy, let me talk about this without getting myself in trouble here for a second. There was no actual case. There was no cross-examination of witnesses or evidence presented. But in his final report, Jack Smith was like, I was going to totally get him, I tell you. That was going to happen. I was going to put him to the ground, I swear. Oh, he didn't even see me coming. I was going to get him, and I was going to put him down. I had it all lined up. Boy, you would have seen the most amazing thing. Boy, you would have been amazed. But they just wouldn't let me, by golly. I just couldn't do it. But anyway, Special Counsel Jack Smith has concluded, and the media is totally convinced that Donald Trump was totally going to be convicted on multiple felony counts for attempting to overturn the 2020 election had his 2024 re-election not halted the case under DOJ policy prohibiting prosecuting sitting presidents. Here's the truth of this, and let me help you because I'm a nice guy and a good guy. Let me help you. They knew they were never going to get a conviction, and once Donald Trump's election was over, they were going to stop trying. They were going to stop trying if he lost. They were going to stop trying if he won. They were going to look the other way, and the Biden administration was going to say, well, golly, guys, I mean, he's not going to be president again. There's no reason to do this. We should just move on. It was lawfare, and it failed. And I don't mean it failed to convict because they were never going to do that. It failed instead to stop him from being president of the United States. The people rendered a not guilty verdict. That's what happened here. Now, this report outlines quote-unquote evidence that Trump knowingly spread false claims of election fraud and pressured officials, which is not illegal, including Vice President Mike Pence, to subvert the election results, meaning challenge them. Smith also detailed how prosecutors prepared to counter Trump's expected defenses, such as free speech claims and reliance on legal advice with strong proof of criminal intent. So that's basically their argument that they are making. But it's an unchallenged report, and it never was going to see the light of day. We were never going to be in a situation where this stuff was going to be fought about in court, and so they could just say whatever they want. So the prosecutor says he was totally going to get a conviction in a case they couldn't bring. Okay, fine, whatever. Just remember, our friends in the media, they're going to treat this as if it was a conviction. Just know that. Just know that that's what it was. But the most important part about this is the American people exonerated Donald Trump. The end of story. Shut the hell up and stop this nonsense. For at least 6 more days, because when Donald Trump gets in, he should bury these people. He should never stop. He should go after them with every fiber of his being. He should attempt to prosecute every single person associated with any of this for anything they've done. They could have jaywalked, death penalty. I don't care. Littered, death penalty. Any possible thing. They have tried hard to do one thing: subvert the democratic process. That's what they did with this. But because they did it in the courts, they're completely fine with that. We'll continue this conversation a little bit later today with Jay Town. We'll talk with him about this. As you can tell, I'm pretty pissed off about this, as we all should be personally. You can weigh in here and tell me how pissed off you are right here, right now. 866-494-WVNN, 866-494-9866. Voice your opinions. Let it be heard. It is the Dale Jackson Show. That is the scoutpestcontrol.com WVNN hot take text line. You can also email me.
You've got mail.
Dale at WVNN.com. That's another way you can, of course, get involved. It is very easy to do that as well. Don't forget to get your questions in for 10 with M. We got a lot going on here today. We'll continue. Keep it locked right here.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson's 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.